Welcome to Sweet Charity 2020 Virtual. We can't thank our sponsors and our donors enough for your unwavering support throughout this pandemic crisis. Having this event and hosting it virtually online is an incredible experience, and we can't wait for you to see what we have in store.
I'm Rabbi Oren Hayon, and I am delighted to be with you today to affirm once again the indisputable truth that there is something holy about the work that Care Partners does. The work of providing care and comfort for others' bodies and spirits and hearts. It's a noble thing to do, but more than it is noble, it is work that is sacred. And so let us continue to take just a moment to express our thanks in prayer. Compassionate God, we thank you for the presence of the loving hearts that are with us virtually on this day. We give thanks for your steadfast presence, which reminds us at all times that although we may be lonely, we are never alone, because we walk in the presence of the one who is the source of all healing, the source of all love. Oh God, we thank you for all the precious things that sustain us on this day and on all days. Amen.
Welcome to this first virtual Sweet Charity. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I want to thank everyone who participates and makes such a meaningful contribution to our mission. When I think about the service that so many people offer to the caregivers and the care partners, I'm often reminded of a quote from Mother Teresa: "More blessed are the hands that sew than the lips that pray." Today, we honor those who sow. I invite all others to participate in our ongoing mission.
Our mission is to help support caregivers who are caring for someone with memory loss or challenges due to aging. Care Partners provides free programming to those we serve. We're able to do that because of the generous support of our donors and sponsors. So caregivers are able to get the break that they need, and their loved ones are able to get a really fantastic activity-based, evidence-based program that help them alongside their Alzheimer's or dementia journey. But most importantly, caregivers are able to get that break.
But Mother and I sing in the choir. She sings in the choir at church. We both sings in the choir. So I hear her sing all the time, but to see her here and at her age, still knowing the words to that song, you know, a lot of things she doesn't know. She's 91 years old, and now she's getting a little more feeble, but she has never, ever forgotten the words to that particular song. So yeah, it does something to me. Mm-hmm.
In 2019, Care Partners served 3,668 clients that are caregivers and care partners through our 4 core programs: Gathering Place, Second Family, Common Ground, and Caregiver Educational Events. Care Partners had 93 care teams involving 1,868 care team volunteers that delivered compassionate care. Our care team volunteers dedicated 111,423 hours, totaling more than $2.7 million of free care. During this pandemic crisis, our staff and volunteers continue to work daily on fulfilling our mission to provide some type of support and education and resources to our caregivers so that while they're isolated at home, they feel as though they're supported.
I'm the caregiver of my husband. Marcus had Alzheimer's. We found out in 2013. We were so impressed with the little care basket, the sack that was just brought over. It was just such a breath of fresh air for us. Unfortunately, the bottom fell out with the coronavirus, and so all of this, it's been hard being at home sometimes, just dealing with this day in and day out, but this is just such a wonderful blessing, and I'm just so grateful for all of you that are doing this.
Hi, thank you for welcoming Care Partners into your home today. My name is Gabby Solis, and I'm the Director of Development and Marketing for Care Partners.
Please take a minute to donate through your phone with Text to Give. Text to Give is easy. Go to your text messages, type in the number 76278, and type in Sweet 20 as your message. After sending, you will receive a link to make a secure donation to Care Partners. You can also visit our website to make a donation at carepartnerstexas.org/Sweet Charity 2020.
Volunteers are the lifeblood of our organization. We simply cannot do what we do without the support of our volunteers. We have nearly 1,800 very caring, compassionate people who help us support our mission every day. Especially through this crisis, their support has been amazing. We know that we've had volunteers that have just been with us a short period of time, and we know that there's been volunteers with us that have literally been with us since we started back in the AIDS care team days, back in the late 80s. We'd love to hear from our volunteers and our host site partners. How long have you been with us? Have you been with us a year? How many have been with us 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, believe it or not, 20 years and 25 years? We'd really love for you to comment below and let us know how long you've been with us.
My brother-in-law died of Alzheimer's 6 years ago, and I felt like I didn't do enough for him because I didn't understand it. So it just so happened in the church bulletin, shortly after the funeral, they needed volunteers for the gathering place, and I just took it as an omen, and then I just got to see the people month after month, the Care Partners, and grew close to them and look forward to them coming and trying to figure out what would make them happy.
For me, I've gotten friendly with a lot of the folks that volunteer here, and when you're caring for someone with Alzheimer's, in our case, I don't have any family here. All my family is spread out. Nobody's here. I can feel, and I do feel very alone. When I come here, I'm not alone. And, sorry. The fact that the folks here do this on a volunteer basis is just amazing to me because there is genuine care and love and affection here.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Bryce. I'm a family caregiver to my darling mom. Her name is Lorna Bryce. She's 84 years old, and she was diagnosed with mild dementia. She can have a wonderful conversation with you, but she does get, occasionally she gets confused. It takes a mental strain and a mental shift, because I'm accustomed to my mother being one way. She still can move around and do stuff, but ever so often the memory skips a little and so forth. And that's very shocking to me. I'm like, wow, she didn't know what day this is? That is very scary. If you're telling the truth about this whole situation, it's kind of like, why are you doing this, Mom? And I think a lot of people go through that. I don't know if they haven't, but I'm telling you the truth. I have. Care Partners as something that's a strong organization that is helpful and caring and loving to my mother. When I go there and I see the patience that these people put out, the volunteers put out to my mother, it helps me. It helps me learn how to be patient and kind and caring to my mom. This is my first time going through this, and I'm the only person. I have a brother, but he lives in Florida, so he's not able to help, and we don't have any other family here. So I'm the only person responsible for this whole transition in my mother's life. If there's anybody out there who is like me, that thought that there is nothing to help you, trust me, turn to Care Partners. They'll find something for you. They will get your loved one engaged. They will take excellent care of your loved ones.
It's like a big party, we bring everybody in there and they just have such a good time, which is our goal. I mean, you really get to know them and they become a part of your life. And they are so special. I think my favorite part is seeing them come out with the music. Some of them will dance and you think, oh, they barely could do that before.
I am a caregiver for my mother. Her name is Darlene Smoker, and she has a diagnosis of early onset Alzheimer's. I'm 32. We started caring for my mom, my husband and I. We were in our late 20s. Mom moved in with us, and then about 6 months later is when I got pregnant with my first. And so it's been quite the experience. My daughter was 2 months premature. The very next day, my mom had her first appointment. I actually had to find someone to take my mom for me because I was in the hospital with a preemies. That's when you need your mom, like when you first have a baby, and instead I have to take care of my mom. And I'm actually the youngest. I have 2 older siblings. Their kids are grown and out of the house, so we were under the impression that we would get help, and we've gotten very little to none. So to have strangers just come and help us when we needed it the most, we will forever be grateful for that, and couldn't have done it without them. We've been so thankful for the volunteers through Second Family, through Care Partners. I almost get a little emotional just thinking about how helpful it was. They are family. They've taken Mom to the gathering place. They would take her to bingo at church. They came, and would sit with Mom at the house while I took a kid to a doctor's appointment. So much so that they attended birthday parties. We sent each other Christmas cards. Second Family was just perfect and amazing, and I don't know if I could say enough good things about Second Family. It will always have a special place in our hearts.
And it was an opportunity for them to talk to each other so they could share the difficulties that they had. Even though sometimes it may only be 2 people that show up, they always get so much of it out of sharing that they're not alone in this journey, that there are other people who are experiencing the same kind of problems that they're running into. And it's amazing when you get people together in that situation that one will have an idea that helps the other, and so we all learn from it. You go, oh my gosh, I'm really not in this alone. I had one lady who, she was so distressed. You could see it in her face. And after going to Common Ground for a couple times, she came back and she says, oh my gosh, I can be a wife to my husband again. I don't have to just be his caregiver, which is an amazing discovery.
What we wanted to show the community of Waco was all the support that is out there for them, all the organizations, all the individuals out there to help caregivers, and love. We wanted to show them some love and show them that they're not alone. Care Partners puts on a vast array of caregiver conferences in Houston, but the first one in Waco, and we had almost 50 caregivers attend.
We went to some of the caregiver conferences, and we learned a lot, especially being the age that my husband and I are. We know nothing when it comes to, Medicaid, Medicare, your elder law, anything. We learned about different facilities in the area and just different programs.
We have a vision at Grace. We like to throw around the phrase living to make Jesus visible. And so when you think about volunteering, Lord, we all know that we've got plenty of things to do in our daily schedules. We know that there is less time than there are opportunities. But if we're able to continue to give our folks opportunities that they can step into something bigger than themselves, then we believe that in turn is going to be transformational for them in their own lives, but also for the people that we've been given the privilege to come alongside of and to love. And so I think they go hand in hand in terms of what we're trying to do here at Grace.
Ann McIntire, she is God's little Spitfire. Wherever she goes, she brings the love of Christ. But with that, she brings also just this determination for others to come along and to serve, to be a part of this amazing thing that God has her lead in.
Her spirit is so sweet. In terms of a servant heart, it's just unbelievable. She can't hardly help herself, to be honest. She can't hardly help herself in terms of just loving and caring for other people.
I'm Ann McIntire, and I'm here to accept the honor of this year's Volunteer Award. I did have the opportunity many years ago to actually get to know Ron Sunderland, and was so impressed by the man that he was. As a little girl, I always wanted to be a nurse. In 1997, I decided to retire, but I was looking for a meaningful way to use my gifts and experience. And it's good to help people, but if you've got the Holy Spirit in you, and you know that it's God calling you to do this for Him. That's what we're doing this because Jesus called us to make this world better and help other people. And that's my goal in life. I love our care partners and caregivers. This is an opportunity to make their journey less stressful, form new friendships, and learn about who they were as contributing adults, all while we're having fun. Doing this for 20 years. So it's something that I look forward to every month, and I've learned that the other volunteers really look forward to coming. And the disappointment, like right now with the pandemic, I can tell with everybody that I've met in Care Partners, they really care about the welfare of people who are dealing with these diseases in a variety of different ways. We also have Grace School second graders that come and do a craft with us with their grand friends every month. The kids love it and we love it too. Because I've had spouses, caregivers come in tears when they see their loved ones sitting and playing cards, and they'll say, at home, he never does that. I couldn't get through this difficult time in my life without the help that you're providing for us so that we can get a break. Jesus called us to serve following his example. As it says in Matthew 25:40, whatever you do for the least of these, my brethren, you have done for me. Our care partners and clients are definitely the least of these. Grace Presbyterian Church mission statement is living to make Jesus visible. The gathering is one of the best places of doing this. The pandemic has changed so many parts of what we can do. Care partners need your gifts. Let us all finish our days on earth with Matthew 25:23. Well done, my good and faithful servant. Thank you.
This relationship with Care Partners has been one that has, yes, been a resource to our community and our congregation, but has really been a formative piece of our identity for decades now. It's been a way that we understand our relationship with God. It's a way that we express our obligation to our fellow human beings. And it's a way that we, as people of faith and people of service, have expressed our Jewish ethics, our Jewish values, and our Jewish obligation to help and to heal a world that needs our loving, devoted presence. The Jewish religious tradition teaches that, in fact, we are acting in imitation of God when we do this work. We are walking in God's ways when we care for those who need companionship. And it is that divine spirit that all of us embody when we bring the gifts of our presence: skill and empathy, compassion and love, to do what we can to take away some of the suffering and to soothe the pain and anxiety of those who are in the circles of care that we administer. And as a representative of my congregation and of the community of Jewish faith here in Houston, I want to thank all of you for your generosity of spirit and for the very important and very holy work that you do simply by being with us today. The experience of those in memory care can be terribly lonely and isolating. At the same time, we often feel that the greatest comfort, the most potent measure of healing, comes from the presence of community, from the loving, compassionate nearness of other people who care. So today is an opportunity for us to give thanks for this enormous circle of community, to pay tribute to the advocates and volunteers, staff people, leaders and donors and community champions whose courage and generosity brings recovery and relief. The name Care Partners is quite apt for us. It is obviously an organization that's in the business of delivering care, but for us, the partner part of the name is maybe even more important than the care part. And that relationship has taken many forms over the years. Our work with the HIV/AIDS care team several decades ago, and most recently, our relationship with the Gathering Place, the opportunity for us to be a reliable, comforting, soothing presence for those in memory care, has been a way that we live out the values that make us who we are. Even beyond what it does for the folks themselves that are in memory care, this is an opportunity for all of the volunteers to live out their own values, their own sense of care and dedication. This is one of those wonderful, rare opportunities that gives as much to the recipients of care as it does to the deliverers of care. I think everyone that spends time at the Gathering Place comes away from that encounter enriched and ennobled and inspired. Certainly, I and our whole congregational community want to express our deep gratitude for the recognition that comes behind this award. We are deeply grateful and very humbled to be the recipients of this award.
We can't thank our sponsors enough for their unwavering support over the many years that we've had Sweet Charity, especially this year in our 2020 Sweet Charity event that had to be canceled.
The thing I remember about my wife is her ability to accomplish anything she set out to do. We met when I got out of the Army, and she was a junior in college when we got married. Well, it was difficult for her because I was a traveling salesman, and we relocated numerous times. She raised 4 children. They were all born 1.5 years apart. We have traveled a lot around the world. One day I came home from work and she said, "I know what I want to do with my life. I want to be a piano tuner." And so for 50 years, she was a piano tuner. So when I retired, we moved to Florida after moving around the eastern half of the United States. And that's when we first noticed something was going wrong, because I had to make maps for her every day. My name is Roger Robeson. We live in League City, Texas. We've been married for 63 years. And my wife has Alzheimer's. She has an extremely short memory. And now, 6 years ago, we came to Texas. I've always been the cook. So now our routine is that I cook and she plays the piano, and we talk and she gives me quizzes about the music. We attend 6 gatherings, and I also go to the common ground at each one, and it's an opportunity for people to tell what their problems are and the challenges that they face, and support each other and encourage each other. It's very helpful. If there were more located within our reach, we would attend more. It's important to donate to Care Partners because it's a local organization. They depend on contributions to do the many things that they do. All of the money goes to help people like us, and going to Care Partners and the gathering place is of tremendous benefit. Coming to the gathering, no matter how tired we are or if we've been up during the night, when I say to her, "Do you want to go to the gathering?" she always says yes. And I enjoy it as much as she does. I think just the friendships, because we're very fortunate, but what you can't manufacture are friends and people who care about you. The fact is, if we don't go to the gathering, there isn't anything else much that we do. And from my wife's standpoint, she gets socialization, which is so important. Well, the gathering place has become our new family. Our entire social community is made up by the gathering. It's a wonderful group of people, and if they can't remember, that doesn't make them any less wonderful.